Yeah. So, do you guys all remember what happened the last time you played?
Yeah.
I sure as hell fucking do. We were rudely fucking interrupted by, or woken up rather, by Bitchface McGee.
She
Forgot
waited
what her
for
name
us to
was.
wake up.
I was gonna say, in her defense, she did not wake you up, but yeah.
No, but she was inside of our bedroom and everything. This was not a cordial visit. She caused
She didn't come to our bedroom, sir.
Yes, she did.
Oh, she was totally in your bedroom when you woke up.
Oh, okay.
Totally in your bedroom.
Yeah, totally, just sitting there. Like,
Oh, that's right. We walked down the
for
stairs.
2 hours, right? I tranced out for 2 fucking hours, and she's fucking there.
Or
something like that.
Yeah, but yes, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, so you guys had decided at the end of your breakfast encounter that you were going to check out the carnival that's in town.
yeah.
Is that still your plan?
Yep.
It's my plan.
I heard it was.
All right. Well, thanks to the shenanigans at the church the night before, the carnival will open at dusk. So if you need to get anything in order or you had things that you wanted to look in on, you do have a little bit of time.
That's an interesting situation, sir.
Yeah, we can skip the intervening time too if you guys don't have anything important to do, you know.
Actually, I'm trying to look for the map to open it up.
How closed is the carnival right?
Well, you know that they've done their basic unpacking and setup, so it's probably, you know, mostly just empty with the exception of the folks who work the carnival, but not like, you know, not like in the middle of a bustle or anything. Like, if anything, they're probably like practicing and rehearsing and shit like that.
Yeah.
I just want to go scout out the area a little bit. Is like a flyer. See what's going on. See how the place is shaping up. Kind of see if I can figure out some of the tricks and mechanisms of any of the devices we'll be trying to operate later. See them like testing it and stuff.
They may have things in place to where you're not going to be able to do that. I mean, this is a magical, interdimensional carnival.
Is that true? Did they just appear out of nowhere, or did they come from somewhere?
The sky.
They appeared out.
They came out of the sky.
From portals in the sky, specifically.
Right. Like not like they flew here from somewhere else on this planet. Like literally from the sky.
I see. Okay. Maybe not. I mean, I can try, but you know, if I get blocked, I get blocked. Fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is there like a
and there's time if that's what you want to do. There is not a market that you're aware of. The carnival is famous for its attractions, its candies, you know, it's funnel cakes and things of that sort.
no,
Fun atmosphere.
Not at the fair. I meant here.
Oh yeah, there are several.
I think we're pretty close to them, aren't we?
Oh yeah, you're actually like right across the street from the artisans' quarter, where you know, like carpenters, masons, blacksmiths, tinkerers, stuff like that are.
Or do you mean like fruits?
You have time to shop if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah. No, that's basically what I'm thinking. I'm less shopping. Like, yes, there will be like perusing, but it's more like I'm trying to listen to the people gossip. What are the people talking about?
Mostly about the cathedral burning down. Given that the cathedral was one of the few surviving buildings from before Gallender was raised last, it's kind of a big deal, you know? Depending on who you're eavesdropping on, the comments range from, you know, like common gossip, like where will the priests live now, you know? To more erudite topics like, hey, does this mean the church is dissolved? Didn't all of the leadership die? You know, things like that. But yeah, it's basically all anybody's talking about. You do hear a few people talk about the carnival tonight, but like a lot of that is even in the are we still going to that? Is that still happening? You know what I mean? Like a lot of it is even still kind of like, is it appropriate for us to go to the carnival? You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody seems basically on that topic.
Yeah, I mean, barring, you know, your typical like spats between lovers and parents dealing with unruly children and shit. Yeah.
Oh, of course, of course. Is there anybody currently trying to profit or benefit off of this tragedy?
Interesting. Do you want to roll perception or insight or investigation? Like, what's your take on trying to figure this out?
My take is trying to find people who are thinking a little bit differently and or like the maybe outliers in society. What are they maybe talking about and doing? Even like talk or like, sorry, let me get my words together, blah blah. Even talk that was like done fervently, that wasn't about mundane shit, but also not about the church specifically.
Okay. Yeah. I guess let's call that perception. All right. So you do catch a few interesting conversations. The first that sort of like stands out is you notice a couple of the local artisans discussing the new political situation. As it turns out, artisans were what's the word I'm looking for? They had to pay a tithe to the church, 1/4 of their profits, in fact, every year. In exchange for the church's support. But now that the church is effectively broken, the question is, are they still beholden to that tithe agreement? Or can they claw back 25% of the profits that they had been making over this year? Or worse, will the church come and ask for more to rebuild the cathedral? And if they do, then what's the Kingdom of Gallender going to do? Because Gallender does not have the same sort of a relationship with the artisans. And in fact, all that Gallender can do with the artisans is collect a small tax on sales. A small tax on sales. In fact, most of the taxed money of the artisans was in fact being delivered to the churches as a tithe. And so now they're wondering if Gallender is instead going to increase their taxes, claim the tithe is no longer valid, and try to take control over the sort of like legislation and tax grift of the artisans' quarter.
Ooh, I definitely like this. I'm instinctively like pressing on my mouse, and I don't have to anymore because of the awesome headphones. No, I like this. Though I don't know anybody here. Also, I wonder if this idea would go against my guild contract. There's opportunity for the craftsmen to set up a guild. Perhaps claim that in lieu of the tithe, they should save maybe half amount of said tithe to a communion of artisans that funds themselves solely to protect themselves from tithes like this in the future and other such endeavors.
Yeah, actually, it's interesting because like it seems, to your mind, kind of like, well, that's obviously what you ought to do, right? But nobody seems to talk about guilds in that way. In fact, the only guild that you really hear anybody talk about, like the whole time you've been in Gallender, is the Adventurers Guild.
And run by me, would that kind of like, if I were to take action in that kind of endeavor, would I have to just be a person who pushes people towards that kind of thing because of my contract with the Adventurers Guild?
Well, your contract says that you can't do business outside of the guild. So if it was a thing that you were obviously profiting from, that would definitely run afoul of the magic in your contract. But on the other hand, if it was more like, a revolt of the people, like a passion thing, you would probably be okay until they like tried to compensate you.
Oh, I don't want to be compensated. Absolutely not. No. God. Interesting. That's some shit for me to write down.
Another conversation that you overhear is almost like conspiracy theory talk. I mean, you can tell it's gossip. Like nobody in the conversation takes it all too seriously. But it seems that at least one person heard from one other person who heard from another person that, in fact, the church burned its own cathedral down because they want to erect a new building in its place, but they don't want to pay for it. So they're going to blame the fire on Gallender's inability to stop the Demon Lord so that Gallender pays to rebuild the cathedral.
Oh, shit. We're going to build a new cathedral, and Gallender's not going to pay for it.
The church, specifically the church. Gallender is going to pay for it. The church is not.
That's the conspiracy theory, anyway.
Yeah. Interesting.
We're gonna build a church and we're gonna make Gallender pay for it.
It'll be the best church. It'll be a great church.
So good.
What was my reasoning for wanting to stay in the Adventurers Guild again?
I don't know. You never canceled the contract. I never joined.
I know
Sounds
you.
like
I
a
know
bad
you
deal
did.
to me.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about it right now.
You were trying to figure out a way to use the guild as a means to gain access to certain things that you wouldn't be able to, as well as more notoriety. You were trying to use that to get out your name on the street. Like you said, you were wanting to live your best life. And the adventurers can make a lot of fame.
It's also it's kind of like having YT's passport for the claves,
Shit. Huh. Yeah. Kind of. Except it is okay. Very limiting in ways. Yeah, I feel like this crying person in the background.
Yeah,
right
I was about to say you gotta
Can you cut the crying child in the back? Like, that's how I feel.
I know you're multi-channeling this shit. You gotta
Kids, dude. Kids. You never know what it's a fair. It's a fair, right? Maybe she let go of her balloon. Maybe she dropped her.
You guys haven't gotten to the fair yet.
You know why some list Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island is the worst Super Mario game, or the worst
Yoshi's Island kicked ass. I beat it. I played
it was a wonderful game.
No, the second one.
No,
Right.
no, I mean the first one actually. Why people?
Yeah, I was gonna say I beat the first one. It was
why
awesome.
people sometimes gave it a really low rating because of the baby, because of the crying baby. You get whacked once. What? Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, dude.
That's what happens as soon as you get whacked.
Look.
And it
All right.
sucks. I hate that part.
Okay. There is literally one track in the entirety of this whole package that is called "Children Laugh and Cry." They're not always sad. Sometimes they're happy.
Do you have like just children laugh?
It's literally called Children Laugh and Cry, and it's one track you can add to your fair where it's kids like.
I just feel like as a soundscape DJ, that's like the worst option. That's like that's like firefights and romance poems. Why are these together?
Because it's a fair. Haven't you ever gone to a goddamn carnival? Children are children, dude. You got your 3-year-old there. They're like, yeah, this is great.
I'm just saying. Go for it, Watts.
We're not at the fair.
All right. Well,
yeah. I was going to say you just want them on separate tracks. That's all I'm saying.
I even agree with that.
Background anyway. I don't know. I felt very
you've got some crowd sounds.
Yeah. I do. If you'll listen right now, the only thing on right now is Children Laugh and Cry. It's very sporadic, and it's either a laugh or a cry.
Yeah. No.
I was hearing it.
It's the only thing on right now. So, like, yes, I hear that the person was being particularly performative when you were talking, but that's what it's like when you go to Disneyland and some kid didn't get the fucking Dole Whip,
right.
you know?
You're right. You're absolutely right. Okay. If there is still time, then I guess I want to go to the Adventurers Guild to make an inquiry.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, Watts.
Yes, sir.
You find most of the ingredients you're looking for pretty quickly. Like, a bit of balsa wood and some string. That's like a silver piece, no big deal. One of the reagents that you're looking for, a drop of mercury, at first you think is going to be a little hard to find, but you realize since you happen to be literally across the street from a block full of smiths and stuff, is way easier to track down than you thought, but it's going to cost you a gold piece.
Let me double check my funds before I say yes. Inventory. There's that. Okay, yes. Is it just going to be a singular drop of mercury, or is it going to be like a vial of mercury?
Right. Technically it's a phial of mercury. It's 1 gram of liquid mercury in a glass amphora, basically.
Okay, yeah. Toss those at me. I will.
Oh yeah, go ahead and add them to your inventory. It's just subtract 1 gold and 1 silver, and you'll get a phial of mercury, a ball of twine, and let's call it a 12-foot strip of balsa, or 12-inch strip of balsa.
Under bursts of snickering laughter, Yolo loudly states, there are old stories that say you drink enough of that and you might become immortal.
Very expensive.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's heard the Immortal Emperor stories out here. Apparently,
the phial of mercury. How much does that weigh? Is that like what 0.01?
Yeah, 1 gram. So like 0.01, 0.02, something like that.
Good day.
Good day to you, madam.
Okay, you wanted to stop by the guild and make an inquiry about what, sir?
Have an idea that could improve the lives of all the people in Galland.
Okay.
Specifically those with money.
So hold on. Can you describe?
Typically those with money.
You burst open the double doors into the common area. Do you go to the counter, or do you just begin your declaration at the door?
No. I go to the counter area, and I would like to speak with the guildmaster.
Got you. Okay, so the clerk at the counter elf woman with glasses and black hair, wearing a white blouse and black pants. She kind of looks at you for a minute and she says, "Well, as you can imagine, he's been rather busy."
Of course, yes, with the church being burnt down and everything like this. But I have an idea that could improve the lives of everyone in Gallender, specifically the artisans.
I see. She kind of looks around for a minute. Like, if you're being honest, she doesn't really look like she's looking for help so much as like escape.
Right.
But she looks around and her eyes fall on a sheaf of paper and she says, I have an idea. Why don't you write him a letter? And she pushes the sheaf of paper over to you, produces a quill and an ink, and goes, "Feel free to use as much as you want. I'll deliver it as soon as he's available."
I love it.
It's
That's
really
hilarious.
just a contract question, honestly.
She fixes her glasses on her brow and she says, I can discuss the contract.
So it states that I cannot conduct business outside of the guild, right?
Is this magical binding contract actually legal?
No.
Well, it's magically binding.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Is you're already fucked. It's a magical binding.
We've already been through this before. No, so if I were to tell and instruct the correct people on what to do, but take no part of it and no benefit other than the personal satisfaction of seeing it happen, would I be in breach of the contract?
There is a large.
She pauses for a moment. She sort of like takes a breath and she says, no, I don't think that would breach the contract. That's not business.
Well, I suppose it might like ingratiate me to people, but that's what I'm talking about, is like what types of heroism is specifically barred. Like, I understand business, right? But I can also like get an old lady's cat out of a tree. Out of charity.
Interesting perspective, she says. I don't believe the magic understands that kind of context. I mean, I hate to say it, but most of the time when it decides you've broken the contract, there really isn't anybody left to complain about it. But in the few cases where we have had, let's call them edge cases, they've generally been about the exchange of goods or services for services. Notoriety, admiration, and charity generally don't cause problems. But the spell works on your intent, not what you do.
Fabulous. Absolutely brilliant. Okay. So, when I say that I have an idea that can help everybody here, I don't exactly need the Guildmaster's help so much as I thought that they could just help me. But you, being a well-studious and hard-working employee of the
Her
guild,
ears twitch at that.
must know also the history of how a guild was established.
The Adventurers Guild?
Yeah. Like, in what context does it legally abide it being a guild?
Oh, it was endowed by the original emperor of Gallender. It just kept its authority ever since.
So, in order to become a...
Technically, it's older than the kingdom.
Wait, how does the... Oh, the original emperor of Gallender. I understand. So, but nowadays, if one were to say build a collective in which to establish a guild, to whose authority must they seek such a charter?
Oh, I see your problem now, she says, as she straightens her glasses once more.
And no, this is not for me to set up a guild, but I can inform, let's say, and I reduce my further, I take a breath and start talking quietly. What if I inform wealthy aristocrats of, maybe the benefits of this momentary crisis within the church and how they could adjust their funds ever so slightly to go towards a safety, a hold, a state of authority, organization for those artisans to be around, similar to this guild.
Right. Well, if it was legitimately a guild, then it would need to be endowed by, the original emperor, and he's been dead for a while.
But
That's why there aren't any other guilds.
Oh.
In fact.
So wait, what about the kingdom? The surely a king might have that authority?
Well, the kingdom wasn't exactly... She looks around and sort of leans a little over the counter, and she says, it wasn't exactly set up with a lot of foresight. The emperor endowed the kingdom on his deathbed. Well, at least we're told he died of old age in his bed, if you get what I'm saying.
How old was he?
I love that that's inspired by the fuck, now I can't remember the name of the show. You know the show.
I don't. How old was the emperor?
500 does.
He
Current
was
affairs.
in his... That's... Sorry. He was in his 50s, she says.
See, he does get it.
So what happened to the empire? Is the empire only 50 years old?
Well, it's complicated. So, this is the Kingdom of Galander.
Correct.
Before the Devil's Maw opened, the Empire of Galander extended from here all the way to the eastern coast.
Oh, damn.
Now, yeah, it included the territories at the Beastlands.
Oh, damn.
However, when the Devil's Maw opened, the Emperor lost a lot of territory, and he generally lost it by ignoring his commanders. Then he fell ill, and his commanders took over with a letter of decree from the Emperor creating the Kingdom of Galander. Funny thing, though, before the Empire, this was the Kingdom of Galander.
All right. So, appears to me that there's nothing stopping the people from doing this thing if the people recognize this gathering of people.
Well, I mean, there are definitely social clubs and the like in the city. I mean, I don't think there's a rule against creating an association of people.
Yeah, but the title guild is something that only the emperor bestows, apparently.
Correct. Likewise, the authority and respect afforded the guild.
So
Rites of passage, things like that.
there's a hole in your story, though. I thought the guild was older than the empire.
No, the guild's older than the kingdom.
Which one?
This one.
Not
I told you it's complicated.
Not the original.
I told you it's complicated.
Not the original kingdom.
Correct.
Ah, yes. I see. I understand. Interesting.
In terms of years, the guild's about 400 years old.
So, what about the Adventurers Guild? Could the Adventurers Guild, say, create umbrellas or branches? And is that a topic that the Guildmaster might want to talk about? Sort of an artisans guild, being that this is the only place that has a guild charter. It would be wise, maybe, then to assume that it is also this place that has maybe an idea of what other social clubs need in order to gain a charter in the Emperor's absence. A collection of peers.
Well, our charter is very specific about what we handle. I don't know that we would be allowed to create, for example, an artisan's branch of the Adventurers Guild.
You don't know one so studious and hardworking as yourself?
It's worth asking the Guildmaster, I suppose, but I wouldn't expect much.
So I can have a meeting with the Guildmaster?
You should write him a letter, and then he can respond back to you.
Sure, but a letter such as this could get intercepted, and this is
his office is right
matter?
upstairs. I don't think it's going to be intercepted.
This is a tax matter too. Like, what if one of these people read it?
She does her best to stifle a laugh, and she said, "I wouldn't worry about that."
I don't want anyone seeing my taxes.
There's potentially a lot of money on the table.
No, I just mean I wouldn't worry about anybody here reading anything.
What about that laptop, though?
Oh, hey! Speaking of that answer actually is really informative. Are there any jobs that I could take as a lowly guild menial to maybe up my rank because I can read? In fact, spit a language at me you think is obscure. I can understand it.
Cool.
She thinks about it for a second, and then she says, "Sure, why not?"
Sure, why not?
Sure. Okay, I'm waiting.
Waiting for what?
You to say something.
Oh, I did.
Was it sure why not?
Her eyes kind of, you see her brows raise above her glasses, and she says, "Well, yeah. You speak catfolk?"
I can. I've been known to. I know a good guy named Growl.
Didn't even notice how her tail was oriented at that fucking point, did you? Or how her ears flexed? No.
She's not a cat girl. She's an elf, but...
No, I know. I'm just saying that's how you speak cat, is you have to learn how to flex your butt in just the right way, and your ears and eyes. Like, come on, man. Also, there's a whole Harry Harrison series about it.
Totally.
Okay. You're talking a tabaxi. These are completely different.
Tabaxi. Oh, Tabaxi Watts. You're lucky I love you so much. You're lucky I love you, man.
Meow, that's right.
Uh-huh. That is the correct response, too, buddy. Oh, nice. High five.
Damn. Sorry.
That was my genetics
Open
there.
mic.
I felt my genetics.
For you. That's barbarian for you, folks.
Yeah, you'll note that I grow out red. That's you know.
That I
Sorry.
don't imagine she appreciated that either.
I didn't mean to do that. No, I'm sorry.
If Snipe Hunter's table is anything like mine, you say it out loud. You said it like you said it, man.
Yeah, I would imagine you would try to cover by saying, "Oh, no, I guess you don't speak O's then."
All right, no,
that was sick, man. That was
how
awesome.
I do that.
High five.
No. Gelatinous
Jesus.
ooze?
She says, "Huh? I didn't know they had a language."
Of course.
That's excuse me,
Well.
who's
Well, she says, we don't really have special jobs for the literate exactly. You could check the job board, though. I mean, sometimes there are jobs that require literacy.
Yeah, but
The funny thing, most people just look at the numbers and bring me back the thing and ask me what they're supposed to do.
What about you, though? I mean, surely you...
Wait, are you trying to become a guild employee?
I'm trying to get up in the ranks so that I have more freedom out there.
Yes, he's just trying to. You can't do that OOC shit without. You have to put the thumb on the table or whatever.
Where's the?
We don't have cameras though, so yeah.
I know that was. Dude, these are the jokes.
He's the only one in the room right there, right?
We're live. I'm trying to entertain the audience.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Verde being Verde should be enough entertainment.
Hey.
Like for instance, like the guildmaster is surely busy with like stuff that a literate man is, busy with. There must be menial work, something that could equate to doing those level of quests.
Well, I mean that's clerk's work. That's what I do. She says.
Doesn't the clerk feel as if she has worked hard enough to become a senior clerk with an assistant that she can delegate under?
Is Verde schmoozing? What the fuck's going on here?
Right. Yeah. She kind of like raises an eyebrow and she says, "I'm not really in charge of hiring new clerks."
I suppose I should write a letter then.
Out of character.
That would probably work best.
You might want to think about the fact that we're not sticking around here long. Like, as soon as we're done with the fair, I want to fucking horse up and get the fuck south.
The fair's going to take a whole week.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. As long as
you're gonna be an office worker for a whole week.
No.
Yeah.
You do bring good things to the table, but I offer maybe not clerk work, but perhaps work as a runner. Do you need to get information to places? I'm going to faraway places, and I'm guaranteed to get there.
Far places are you going to?
Courier jobs absolutely are posted on the board. Likewise, caravan jobs if you're looking for transport.
Do we have a plan, like where we're actually headed?
Yeah, you're going to the carnival. It's just it doesn't open till dusk today because of the fire.
That's what I thought. So, like, I mean, taking on plans to like go travel elsewhere from where we are seems a little premature.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm saying after the fair, it seems like the next most intelligent move is where the elves, the stodgy elves in the south are at, that actually keep history that's, less for more than a couple hundred years. That's kind of where we were getting some suggestions to go. And we want to learn more about the whole thing and like all the gods and that whole shindig. I don't know if that was something we wanted to talk about.
Indeed.
But that's something we have to wait a week to worry about, because right now we've got ourselves carnival. So
is there a cancellation fee for my membership now?
No, we're fucked, dude. We signed the contract. We're doomed.
I did.
It was a magic contract. It wasn't just some like legal shit. It was an actual like magic shit contract.
She cocks her head to the side and she says, "You want to retire?"
I need the fine details of what that means.
Well, you would give up all your guild rights. You'd relinquish your guild card. The contract would be finished, and that would basically be it.
What are your guild rights? Are they shit like you can like breathe and eat food?
No. You can use the guild services. You can take quests from the guild. Your guild rating will be tracked. You know the benefits of the guild. The healer, if we have one on hand, things like that.
Yeah, okay. So it's like a country club.
Free travel
Like a
across
country club?
borders. Yeah, exactly.
Free.
Word.
Interesting.
I ain't sad. I'm not here to try to. I don't. I'm just
You're not
following
here.
Verde here. No, I follow you, dude.
Oh, you follow me. Yeah.
I always hang out with you
Huh.
because you're technically my kid. Like it's just we're not here, but we are, but we aren't. You know, and I'm still getting over that. We've talked about that on other episodes. Much like every now and then I freak out about the fact that I'm actually a rabbit. I'm good with it this episode, don't worry. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. Rabbit hole. Oh no.
Hey.
There's
There's
you're also still sober, sir.
Am I?
Sober.
Sober.
I
Sober.
said sober. I didn't
Yeah,
say you're sober.
Yeah, no. I'm allowed to drink. I'm not in a 12-step program or anything. I'm allowed to drink as long as I just like.
No. We're just saying the bunny existentialism happens further down
When
the
I
spiral.
get super shitty, yeah, D. I am not super shitty. Tip of the dope hat.
There's a lot of squirrels, Gallant, right? In Gallender City.
Not so much in the where you guys are in the valley.
I was gonna
but
say,
yeah,
I don't remember that being part of the lore.
Okay. Well then, that would probably be the form I take when I'm trying to, investigate. Try to stay higher up in places where they see that I'm not trying to go down, do on things that are important, steal their nuts or whatever. But peering in and
steal my
around
nuts.
to get a better look at. Assuming there isn't a magic barrier.
Gotcha. So, okay, as soon as you get, atop a hill to the point where you can actually see where the carnival grounds are, you would notice that it seems like it's surrounded by fog, but in a relatively narrow strip, maybe 50 meters wide, very obviously magical. But the carnival itself sits clearly in the space encircled by the fog. It's not foggy itself, and you can see, a big top, and there's a river that was not there before they set up the carnival that sort of goes around the whole thing in a band.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah, in fact, you guys came through this area on your way in, or rather not on your way in, but when you two were doing your courier quest, and you went up to the was it Verde that went up to the rich guys area?
I'm just saying that no river there before and now river is.
It's not just that though. Looking out onto the area where this carnival was, it used to be a copse of trees, and now they're all sort of artfully placed around the space where the carnival exists in. They're in perfect health. They just aren't where they were before.
Yeah, that's spooky.
Yeah, probably is. You go do. I mean, I could try, but it seems like there's plenty of wording. Doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, at a bare minimum, it's very obvious that a shit ton of magic goes into setting this place up.
Yep. Okay. Well then, that being the case, being on the hill, that doesn't mean I went up to where the burnt cathedral and stuff is at, does it?
No, you would have gone up on the south side of the city. The city itself kind of sits between two hills with flat tops. And so the south hill has the best view of the carnival, so that's where you would have gone, not the center hill. Honestly, you wouldn't really be able to see the carnival, the walls in the way.
South hill. Okay. Well, that being the case, then maybe I would actually, sneak my way up the center hill and see if I can get a look at the the cathedral rubble and wreckage stuff?
Yeah, sure. It's mostly charcoal. Some of it's even still like smoldering. The other buildings of the hill are mostly unscathed. I mean, there's broken tile and the road's kind of fucked up, but I mean, like it's really like just the cathedral that's totaled. Most of the activity right now is not even spent on clearing away the debris. It's on repairing the roadbed and the courtyard tile and things like that, almost as if they're waiting for the wreckage to cool off.
See. Yeah, sounds like it wouldn't be something anybody would really be able to get it scavenged safely right now.
Not unless they had protection from heat and were, able to get through the debris, but
Yeah. Okay, so that one should be it. Gonna go rob the rich. Wrong campaign.
Right.
I'm totally retiring too. No, this is not worth it.
I guess how clear from like walking around and kind of listening things along the way, was I able to get a picture of the whole situation with the artist? Is that like open air talk that a lot of people are talking about, or is that the sort of thing that you'd like really have to be listening to catch on to?
yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it's definitely not the main topic of the day. There are people in the Artisan Square talking about it though. So, like, if you were like, paying attention to the conversations, you would certainly have heard some variant of the conversation for sure. Verde, I will get back to you in just a second. Hey,
No,
Watts.
absolutely.
Yes, sir.
You don't get any kind of response that you recognize at first. As regards the last thing that you attempted there,
Okay.
something interesting happens. You attempt to recall, your character's supposed goddess's connection, and for a moment, it almost feels as if, what's the best way to put it? It almost feels like a door opened in your head, almost like there was like a rush of cool air, but like on your brain coming from a particular direction. That said, that direction doesn't have a three-dimensional equivalent. It came from Brown, right? But the feeling is almost instantly snapped off, as if somebody slammed a door shut. That's not a thing that you had ever noticed before. Not only that, you realize, what's the best way to put it? You realize that this is the feeling that you have never felt with this character, no matter what you've done as relates your clerical abilities.
Interesting. Is it a feeling that I felt in the presence of the second chance?
Roll
Interesting
insight
question.
for me.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, kind of
Wow.
does.
Are you okay, Verde?
Yes. Sorry, I was petting my cat.
Did
I'm
you
not
recognize
used to
how well
having
you
my-
synced up with the fucking crow noise, the raven noise? You were like, and it was like, bah, bah, bah. It was like, wait, what's going on?
I was petting my cat, and she was sleeping and enjoying it until she wasn't. And
Yep.
Until she
Yeah,
wasn't.
like a cat. Yeah.
Yep.
Maribel.
Okay, so I would like to explore that feeling, trying to reconnect it. Would that be a religion?
Probably. That said, it feels like have you ever Have you ever like held your breath so long that you can feel the blood pulsing in your head?
Damn.
I know that feeling intimately.
That's kind of what it feels like in your head right now. Like, yeah,
You ever do whippets and like hold it up way too long?
that's I mean, if you know, kind of thing.
You
But
ever do
like
jujitsu?
the point is you get the impression that if you try this thing right now, you're gonna do like you ever seen Firestarter where when her dad does the push thing and it gets the bloody nose, like
Yep, yep.
you're in that territory.
Nice.
Should I eat a berry first and then do it?
I'm gonna eat a berry. I'm gonna eat a
Yeah.
berry.
I mean, I don't think that berries have the same effect as say like blood pressure medication, but
But they do heal my health.
yeah, but I mean, they're well, I mean, they do actually, but yeah, but I mean, it's not
I would
like
shove
you've
a good
taken
berry up my ass so I can
damage so much as you've taken like effort, you know. It's like trying to stress squeeze a muscle that you've never squeezed before.
Hey, your asshole.
Sure, I mean, people die that way for what it's worth.
I
That's
was
all I'm
gonna say
saying.
Kegels,
Not
but
wrong.
asshole is okay too.
I feel like I should be able to sense something else, something about the other part of my skill. Maybe not necessarily reconnecting with the outside, but something else on the inside. Like there's a lot to the religion.
Yeah, it's actually specifically faith that brought that connection feeling on. Rumination on faith specifically.
So, was it when I thought of faith to my original goddess that was on my character sheet, or when I thought in passing of the second chance?
Kind of neither. So, you considered, your character's faith to their stated goddess, but that didn't seem to generate any kind of like specific reaction. You thought about Demira, and that also didn't seem to generate a specific reaction. But when you thought of faith, as as a system or a power or a force, that's when you felt this opening connection.
Interesting. Did I think of the statues that I saw at the top of the church? The ones that depicted the other deities?
Oh, the Demira and the woman that she was facing?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, sure. Again, though, it feels like making the effort now is probably going to pull something inside. Like there's a cost to that connection, and you've paid too much today, you know?
Interesting. I wonder why I got a connection this time, but the last time when I went after this connection, there was nothing.
Yeah, that's a hard one to quantify. Perhaps it was the way that you consider
who amongst us
faith.
can speak for the gods, right?
I mean, I guess technically I can here.
You wouldn't, not in that capacity. That's not what you do, right?
Well, I mean, for these gods, I mean, they're NPCs, right?
You're an NPC.
Am I?
You're all the NPCs in this game.
Dun, dun.
We're going so meta right now, it's not even funny.
Where is it? Don't pop a blood vessel.
Question: with me
That
doing the
That was
fucking like I have,
accidental. Most of those fucking cheers were 100% fucking procedural. Thank
funny.
you. Thank you, Sirenscape. We do not promote you, but we should. Also, give me a free, like,
did I
membership
smell
and shit.
anything
Come on, man.
when I was doing this soul searching?
French toast.
Wow, you're having a stroke, Wat.
No, this is my magic, bro. I activate any of my
Stroke
spells.
magic.
Yep.
I get sense. Okay.
Oh, I know. I
Stroke
forgot
grenade.
you were Candy. I forgot you were Candy Monk.
Yeah,
I say, and then I twitch and go, I forgot I was a rabbit.
I'm good eats, bro. That's why I'm a carrot top. Anyways,
Wow.
okay. Interesting. Where would be a good place in the city now that the church is gone to find scriptures?
That's an interesting question.
Possibly the Adventurers Guild?
Well, not really. I mean, you could probably talk to the monks who weren't in the cathedral. Likewise, there are probably bookstores in the merchants' quarter.
Oh, I'm going to rephrase this. Not necessarily scriptures in the sense of holy text, but more scriptures of talking of the world and its mythos?
Oh yeah, your best bet would be a bookstore, or try to gain access to one of the private collections of the lords and various personages in the royal quarter.
Okay. I want to go perusing bookstores while people do other things.
Okay. If you're looking for histories, you don't find very much. Most of the books that you find for sale are either things like books on like lists of animals, books that are they present themselves as medical texts, but if you read them, they're really just hedge magic and superstition.
Anything good that I could pick up for bookwise for cooking?
There's a lot of romance novels, epics as they're called. Yeah, I mean there are some cookbooks, absolutely. Likewise, there are a few like useful first aid manuals, a couple of like trade manuals, like how to sail a ship, how to break a horse, things like that. In terms of cookbooks, mostly what you find are, it seems like there is a whole sort of like culture of fish and mollusks soup cuisine going on here amongst the wealthy.
I make a mean fucking.
So there's obviously shellfish.
Oh, there's no shellfish. Abalone.
Don't climb up on me now.
And lots of recipes for various kinds of breads. Grain seems to be another big ingredient here. There are lots of like porridges, cakes, not a lot of like what you would consider sort of like modern confections. Like there's no like donut, there's no like fried bread, fried sweet bread.
Fritters.
But there are 1,000 different versions of cake batter and fruit.
Oh shit. They do have fritters. Too bad. I was going to say, we can retire here, friends. Let's make the fish fritter. I can figure it out. Hush puppies. Let's go.
I mean, you're not wrong. While I'm looking for the history and mythos legend books, if I find out anything for like harvesting the animals properly, cooking things, also first aid, I think would be practical for me. Maybe a book on foraging.
Try to remember the name of the bookseller too. That's an important artisan.
Absolutely.
Just given my interests right now.
Right.
I truly think this idea might better the people of Gallender, which might help them defend against the city, or not the city, the demons.
The best bookseller that you find is a wizened old gnome named Edrin, whose shop is in the basement of the accountant's building.
You doing good?
Yeah. So
Edrin,
you're looking-
Eddrin.
Yep, exactly.
How did I know that? How to spell that properly right off the bat?
Don't know.
Just
Okay, magic.
exposure.
Okay, so you said that we found him.
Yep, in the basement of a Clark's, basically.
About who?
A Clark's.
Oh, one of the city clerks.
No, you think it's a general business accountant? Pardon me. You think like he does, well, not he, there's a bunch of them, but you think that they do the books for other companies?
Okay. Wow, and he's a gnome. I make no commentaries about this place.
He runs the bookshop in the basement. He has nothing to do with those guys up there.
Says you. Okay. I will purchase books and such as I find them to add into the inventory for me to read. How much are the books going to be?
The cookbooks are probably the cheapest. So you can get a cookbook on, what amounts to like soups, bouillabaisse, and fish stews for 5 silver. First aid, it's probably around the same price. Let's call that one 7 silver.
Anything for herbs and the like?
A guide to harvesting local herbs would be like 2 or 3 silver. That'd be very cheap.
I think you'll
What if
find it
it's
quite
a larger
valuable.
area, more of like the region rather than the city?
That actually you don't find. You do find similar books for other regions, though. There's one for the Windscour, and one for the Forest of Talar. The Windscour one is actually cheap, 3 silver. The one for the Forest of Talar is 1 gold piece.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
you could afford
I'd like
that.
to pick up all of them
I guess.
for the ones that we're going to be going through.
I bet the forest of Talar is also
Give
the
it to me at
thickest.
a better
Most likely
It
because
is.
it's a forest.
like it.
Well, it's also got the nicest binding of any of the books that you've looked at. Like it's obviously an import.
Fucking hell.
Indeed.
Called the whole kit and caboodle like 1 gold, 15 silver.
And your soul.
Did I find anything about the mythos, etc., while I was looking through all of this?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, the closest thing you find to actual histories are like, the modern day equivalent would be like pulp fantasy novels, but like are basically supposed firsthand accounts of the heroes of the various waves of invasion once the Devil's Maw opened.
Don't
Fantastic.
get yourself killed out there.
So it's like Conan and fucking Cull, and that's
Totally.
what we have for history.
Totally.
Fan-fucking-tastic. Nope.
That's
Definitely seated. You don't need to be an adventurer to be a hero. You can help these people. Help themselves.
Yeah, by the way, as you were asking about retirement, did you tell them that you were going to retire?
Yeah. I mumble it over like I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, I don't know about you, Jory, but I'm thinking about maybe retiring. think maybe I was in over my head.
She
We
says,
need way
"Totally."
more money. Whoa, way more. Like, what are we gonna do now? We're in between. Like, they're about to eat this plane, and then we're just gonna be dead again. What the fuck? Also, I'm a rabbit, dude. I'm a rabbit. Look at me. Give it.
Here we go.
Look at me.
Yeah. So she says, "Well, if you're serious, you just give me your card and I can process it for you. I mean, you have done the mandatory 1,000 quests, right?"
I knew there was going to be a fucking
Goodbye. Come back soon.
1,000 quests. That gets you really deep. All right. So we have until dusk, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No, for the fair to open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do menial quests until the fair opens. I'm also writing a strongly worded letter to the guildmaster.
On
best.
mine,
Yep.
rather than looking for history books, did I find anything that would strike me as tales of legends?
Yeah. Well, there are lots. Like I said, the closest thing you find to history books, in fact, are epics and various supposed first-hand accounts of the heroics of folks who fought off the various orc invasions after the Devil's Maw opened. You don't find anything older than that, though.
What is the oldest piece? The one that's talking possibly of things that came from the before times.
You don't find anything like that.
Does the proprietor know anyone that might have something from that time period?
Adrian thinks about it and he says, "Oh, yep. I suppose if you checked with the elves."
Elves with an F.
Dude, the V's was a Tolkien thing anyway. That's our world thing.
Good point.
Is there anyone local for that, or will I have to go to the forest?
He kind of grins at that, sort of leans back on the stool that he's been sitting on behind his little low counter, and he says, "I don't know if you noticed, son, but not a lot of readers here in Gallender."
People
I would
seem to
bark-
be more
I would
doers than
bark.
thinkers, but still, there are
Laugh,
people
laugh,
that wander from
stop.
place to place.
Laughing.
What was that? What?
I said, this place seems more of a doers than thinkers, but still, people wander and sometimes take root in other places. I was just wondering.
Yeah, I suppose some of them folks up at the hill, they might have something in their collections, but
I
usually
don't
share.
go. Yeah, I don't want to go anywhere near those folks. They don't seem.
Does your
They don't
village
seem to be
have a
overly friendly
tobacconeer,
to share.
I say, as I recognize that I'm running out of things to smoke in my pipe. Tap, tap.
You're with me.
I thought I was. Yeah, I am with you. Where are we?
You're not with him.
Never mind.
Okay.
Didn't happen. Shoosh. I'm with Verde. What are we doing, Verde?
You and I were at the guild when we discovered that
Right.
we need to do 1,000 quests.
1,000 quests,
to
right.
Cancel our membership.
I actually, if you recall, knew that it was not going to be so easy as to sign up and be like, no. I knew it was going to be a problem. That was why I went with you.
It's no problem.
Now I know. It's 1,000 quests. No, I know. I'm not complaining about the contract. I'm saying, there it is. Just as Verde said a moment ago, when he was angry, I was like, that's what it is. All right. We got 1,000 quests to do. Okay, cool. So, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna start grinding quests out, or are we gonna
Well, that's what I was going to do until.
Are we just gonna let this be a fucking anchor? We can just let this be an anchor, but we got to talk to the rest of the crew because they have to understand that we are anchored by this, and so are they if they signed up, which not all
Sure.
of them did.
No, I figured
if
out
you
what I was going to do, but I mean,
right,
you're
if you
also-
want to grind quests between now and dusk, roll me 1d6.
I will do that. I'm sorry for interrupting you once.
You're good.
Is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna. Oh shit! Do I have to do this also? Because of course I'm gonna do whatever
Yeah.
he does. Well, it's not a 1.
All right, so Jory, you complete 5 rank E quests.
Hell yeah!
YOLO, you complete 1 rank E quest, and 1 rank D quest.
Nice. You mucked out the pig stable.
I have 5 E-quests.
I'm like rubbing my haunches. I got the rabbit butt. That's why I could do the delivery shit. Delivery shit. I'm sorry. I was trying to make a good song.
Yeah, it's. I mean, what can you do? It's tough.
Right. I'm not really
okay.
a freestyler.
What? Yeah. So Edrin kind of gives you a look that's like, yeah, you're really in the wrong place for that kind of stuff. He says, the elves maybe. The Coral Kingdom's kind of big on schools. They got that wizards thing there.
Where was the wizard school? Sorry.
Coral Kingdom.
That has to be a hard place to get into.
As I said, it's coral. It's not choral. They don't sing, you know.
Coral.
It's more of the stuff that you find in the water, not people singing stuff at you.
Exactly, like the Rock. Yeah.
That's a whole different dude.
Okay. Interesting. How long does it take to get to the Coral Kingdom from here?
The Coral Kingdom, coral.
I suppose it depends on how you go. Sailing's probably quickest. That's about 2.5 weeks.
Why does my gut tell me there's pirates in those waters?
Sharks control these waters.
Well, I mean, there's pirates in all the waters, so fair bet.
Some things are consistent no matter where you go. Why is there always pirates in the water? Why can't there be pirateless water? Just once.
Pirateless waters. Because then there'd be sharks.
Right, they'd be eel infested at that point.
Right? Those are the shrieking eels.
That's not very nice to call tradesmen that, sir. Okay.
Speaking of Coral Kingdom, since the other 2 places were pretty well blocked, I think if the ships from the Coral Kingdom are still going to be here for, most of the day at least, I'm going to actually kind of take some sort of small form and poke around a little bit, see what sort of stuff they've got going on.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
I want to turn into some sort of small creature form, like maybe a spider or something, and check out the Coral Kingdom ship. See what sort of stuff they've got and like how it's organized, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, yeah, hold on.
Good idea.
Yeah, okay. So the Coral Kingdom ship is interesting. It has sails that are aligned more like vertical fins than cloth, than cloth buckets.
Cool.
Yeah, almost like they have a better understanding of the principles of aerodynamic lift than, say, the boats that you've seen from these waters. But, otherwise it follows the same sort of basic design. Looks like it has, not counting the bilge, 3 operable decks, a cargo deck, a gun deck, and I guess for lack of a better word, like quarters and services deck, like where the galley is, where the food stores are.
Yeah.
where the bunks are, things like that. Technically, I guess there is a fourth deck because there's also a forecastle area that is obviously the captain's quarters. Yeah, the crew themselves are mostly beast people. Lots of feline variants, leopards, lions, tigers, big cats generally. And most of them aren't wearing much. Obviously they're used to heat. And so like they're basically just wearing loose pants and that's about it. As they work the deck. They work the deck in complete silence though. So no songs, no chatter.
Weird.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Yeah. You do catch occasional like glances between people. Almost like they're asking with their eyes, if they're doing it right. Like, is
map?
Is this what we're doing?
Do we have a map?
Gallender City is where you guys are. Like, it's where you've been for the last few sessions. So that would be the map if you want to open one.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if they're speaking telepathically with one another.
Are there oars on top of the sails, or is it just a sail driven only?
Yeah, you don't see any oarlocks that are obvious. That said, you also don't see gun ports, and there's a gun deck. So the is that parquetry? Is that what that's called? The woodworking is such that it's built deliberately to hide the seams and stuff. So you'd have to look pretty closely to be sure.
I see. Okay.
Somewhere here, home in Gallender City.
Then I would imagine this thing is always in incredible shape, not barnacled up. The boards and everything are, the right kind of wood and treated in the right kind of way that they're not gonna, shrink and expand, get all wacky.
Yeah, no. In fact, all of the surfaces are not just wood; they're laminate, like lacquered wood, as if treated against the elements. But not like what's the word I'm looking for? Not like waxed. You know what I mean? Like they're still wood, but they've obviously been like imbued with some sort of resin for both stiffening and weathering purposes.
Gotcha. So then, I guess does that same woodworking quality extend to tools and things like boxes, barrels, beds, and stuff like that, or is it
Very much so.
okay? So they are superior woodworkers on top of knowing how to make a boat happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's almost like you would think that in their culture, exceptional design is a sign of exceptional status from the way that everything is sort of like over engineered.
So it isn't like functionality over aesthetic so much as functionality is the aesthetic, and part of that aesthetic is everything as like pristine and seamless as possible.
Right, everything as simple as few lines as possible too, right? Like an elegance implied in the design.
Cool. I like that.
In its own way, it's ostentatious, but it's absolutely sparse,
It definitely requires a lot of skill to be able to do it. That's love it or hate it. That's a whole lot of skill to build this. So that's
absolutely
great.
You want to roll insight for me?
Yeah. I don't really get the feeling like this is the sort of place where we'd be able to stow away and not get caught immediately.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. I mean, you haven't actually got into the bilge, so I guess you might be able to hide in the bilge, but you suspect that even that would be hard to do.
I did not insight very well.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Well,
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes hard
it's
to
really
see
cool
things
work
as a
though.
spider.
Totally, your perspective is all wrong.
We'll get a good idea of. So they definitely seem more competent to me than like maybe both Gallender and churchy folk.
Yeah, I mean that's a weird like metric to work with, but yeah, your observation feels right.
Like I get the feeling any one of them could pretty well do most roles on the ship if thrust in that position or were offered a promotion or whatever.
At a bare minimum, everybody is very clearly competent at their job.
Do I get the feeling of what sort of composition everybody is? If I were to, apply a list of classes to people, am I looking at like a lot of fighters, rogues, the monks and barbarians, or do I get the inkling that like I see maybe a pouch or a focus here and there on some of them?
Seems like it's all fighters as far as you could tell.
All fight. Plastic. All right. That doesn't mean that I've gotten a good look. Am I able to? Not that I'm necessarily looking to spend too long in there, but can I get a look in the captain's quarters? Like, can I see the captain, what they look like compared to the rest?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, you would probably find her as you were looking at the captain's quarters. Captain's quarters are, again, ostentatious isn't exactly the right word, but they're a cut above the quality you've seen everywhere else in Even, right? The floor is a complex pattern of interlocking rectangular woods from 3 different woods based on the colors. And they do this sort of like almost pyramidal, like interlocking shape that they create, repeated over and over and over again. The walls are decorated with paintings, one of which shows the ship that you're looking at sailing into the sunset, all cast in hues of like purple and red across an almost black ocean.
What culture is this?
The other painting is of the captain herself. She in the painting is wearing a red gown. Not like, not like Western frills and things. It's mostly like loose, diaphanous silks, but also like clearly cut to accentuate, like movement of tail and hip. She herself seems to be a leopard, about 5'6".
Would it be a classic dancer type outfit from the Middle East?
No, not exactly. Closer, I think, would be more like a long silk dress, like you might see at a gala event in a modern age.
Right. Okay.
Like really simple.
Oh, some of the outfits from Malaysia and such.
Yeah,
but she's a bipedal catwoman.
Yeah, leopard girl.
Yep.
Do I get any inkling that like her armaments or implements or anything in the room is particularly magical, or just that everything has that same sort of like high quality, sleek engineering design sort of?
Yeah, mostly it's about quality. And in fact, when you see her herself, she's actually seated at a desk on one side of the room. The other side of the room has her bed, and she's looking at some piece of paper, and she's dressed really in what you would consider relatively simple clothes. She has a loose fitting set of trousers on, a white blouse, and a leather jerkin. Propped up against her desk, however, is two different swords. One of which is a what do they call it? A falchion. The other of which is like a long dagger. Both are scabbarded in wooden scabbards that, again, show the same sort of like interlocking wooden pattern made of multiple colored woods. How it all stays together in one piece without being like a pound of glue is beyond you. But they look really nice. The swords don't seem like they would be magical, but you would have to cast detect magic to know for sure.
Right. I would imagine she's tough enough that it wouldn't matter either way. What are the sort of papers that she's looking at?
Looks like a chart of numbers, maybe a course. If you think the numbers might be like longitude and latitude equivalents. Looks like there are 11 steps, 11 different sets of numbers in a row, in a stack from top to bottom.
I see. Okay.
Advanced wood joining is amazing, and it can do some magical things. No glue required.
That's what Jesus would have you think.
No, that's what professional wood carvers would have you think.
That's what I'm sure many Japanese folks that have perfected the art of joining without iron would also have you think.
Agreed. Those houses are amazing.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying anyone's wrong. I'm just saying, these are all folks who didn't have a lot of iron to join wood.
Is she looking in the direction of her weapons?
No. She looks like she's almost trying to memorize the numbers.
Okay. I'm going to do 3 things before I leave the ship.
All right.
I'm going to leave this is 2 of them, is leave a single strand of silk right down the middle of both of those paintings. Like on the outside of the frame, so when she looks at them, she'll see that line shining.
Gotcha.
And in the not where you would grab the handle of her sword, but just above the pommel and everything, kind of make it like a little web, like a little triangle and a triangle and a triangle sort of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's okay.
And then just kind of, leave that and get going. And, not necessarily that I'm doing anything actionable, just knowing that she's going to be like, what the hell? The hell?
Right.
What the hell?
What the fuck did that happen? Yeah, exactly.
Who let a goddamn spider on here?
Spiders. Somebody call the cleaner.
Oh, if you can, put a single strand right through the middle of the doorway. That way she walks right face first into it.
Oh, yes, that's a good one.
Just do it. No, you just put one right across the toilet so that when she sits down,
Yeah, because I
Think you
want
to your bits.
fall in.
He won't fall in. You're better than that.
He's a spider.
That's what I'm saying.
Right down the water spout.
Exactly. Come on, spider.
So that would be, gotten a good idea then. That is definitely a people that I want to visit at some point. I don't think they're going to be next because the elves are just to the south, and I think transit to them is going to be a lot cheaper and simpler.
Makes sense.
Apparently, I get free border passing.
I'm going to say from the sound of things, get ready to eat dog food because it sounds like they only eat veggies there.
Wow.
So
Dog food.
I'm going to ask, well, what do you feed a lion if you had a lion? Like, we don't have lions, blah, 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 vegetables, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, we don't have a line, blah, 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 blah.
Exactly. It's like, well, if you don't have meat eaters, then, obviously you don't know. But
Then maybe we'll just eat your pets.
Damn.
no,
Wow.
I am definitely resolute that we are going
I'm not that
to,
sort.
use. Don't we still have a bunch of stashed meat in?
I was gonna say
one of the things. So we're good on meat. We've got our own private.
we'll just bring
stash.
jerky. Yeah, you reheat it in the stew pot.
Jerky.
It's all good.
We can bring fresh sausages and they'll just stay preserved. In
Yeah, as you say, in your item box, it doesn't rot. So
Oh shit! I forgot that it didn't rot. Yeah,
sadly, that means if you're trying to make a porterhouse, you're fucked. But
right. No, right. No, I'm just set this over here to age. What?
No,
What's going on?
that's fine. I don't need to age it.
Actually, it would
I'll
be
let
some
someone
meat.
else
you
do
could
that
just
for
take
me.
it out every single day for like the exact period of time that you need to age it.
oh, I get you. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, right. Specialized. It's like yeah.
If you were like brewing a beer, you could like any day like the weather got bad, you could just like put it in the item box until the weather got back to normal. Yeah.
Dash it in the null box.
Yep.
Oh, that is fun. I think after having done that, I would maybe check in and schmooze and say hello to the vendor that's holding on to the what's it called? Piercer. The carcass. The stony body.
The carcass. The stony body.
The stony body.
I used to play bass
Oh,
for
the guy that
Stony
we were trying
Body.
to have harvest
Such a small, short-lived band.
Yeah, no, it was it was a piercing.
Kind of checking in, not only, letting her know that I still fully intend to fund the project and get it done. I'd like to do it before I leave. Obviously you don't have to worry about doing any work until I can fund it. But is there anything I'd be able to kind of like help you out with to help offset costs? Are there any things that you need or materials or like any ephemera from the carnival that you want me to maybe collect for you if I can?
From the carnival? She says no. You're going to be around a bit though, right?
Yeah, we're gonna be around for the carnival then. No idea what's happening after that. We might have to head off. We might stick around for a little while.
I could use some mud pearl if you were willing to head out to the lake.
Mud pearl. Tell me about mud pearl. What?
Go dig around in the fucking muck.
Well, it's all right. Well, first of all, if you've never heard of mud pearl, it's not actually a pearl. It's a kind of rock. It looks sort of like the inside of a shell.
Okay.
As the name implies, though, you'll find it along the shore of the lake in the mud.
Gotcha.
It's a kind of crystal, actually. Like you know what quartz is?
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like a milky iridescent quartz.
Okay. How tough is it to spot?
Well, if it's up on the surface, it's pretty easy to spot the way it catches the light. The problem is you usually find them about 3 feet down. You kind of got to dig about like you might like you ever gone clamming?
Like a clam, right. I was going to say like clamming. Mud pearl, go mud pearl. It's going to be like clamming, you fucking churl. Yeah.
I kind of have an idea.
Hey, that was freestyle. That was just off the cuff. That was off fucking...
Let me ask you this. Do you know of any sort of creatures that naturally sort of do well in that sort of a underwater or underground sort of expedition, kind of digging around in the dirt nearby, or should I be looking in the water or at the edge of the water?
Depends on the time of day, but basically, in the low tide shore.
In the low tide,
In
sure.
the low tide, edge of the water. In the high tide, it would be in the water.
Yeah, probably up to your knees.
Okay. Outside the area where
Let's
the
get this
water
piece
is,
of my,
though, wouldn't have the crystals. It's
Get this
specifically
piece
in
of
the
my
water.
stream muted.
Yeah, you only really find them on shore. I mean, I don't know anybody who's ever tried diving for them, but you probably really only find them on shore.
Well, I guess the question I have is, let's say a badger, a really large badger, was burrowing around, not where the water is at, but maybe right beside of it. Beside it, would they start running into caches and deposits of it, or would that not really be a thing?
Huh. Don't know. Most people pull them out of the mud.
Well, if it's in the mud, that would imply that perhaps the hard packed dirt around it would still have some too. Yeah,
Maybe.
I'm not a surveyor. Do you know what side of the lake they usually find them on?
Oh, Western Shore. Nobody works the Eastern Shore.
Western Shore. All right. I guess was it world map where I would see the lake?
Yeah, a map of the world.
Map of. Let's bring up images. A map of the world. Question mark? Question mark?
Question mark.
Where is the lake relative to Gallender? Because I don't see it on the map.
All right, you see Gallagher City?
Uh-huh.
You see that road kind of leading southeast out of it?
Yeah.
You see how it leads to a port?
Mm-hmm. That's the lake.
Do you see a big ass lake? Yeah.
That's the lake. Okay, so that's like a few days travel. That's not me just doing a quick jaunt.
Nah, yeah, that's probably like maybe a day and a couple of hours to get to the shore.
I mean,
Mm.
would it take a horse that long to just blast over there?
No, if you rode on a horse, it'd probably take like 6 hours.
Well, I would just
For all of us?
We're busy.
That's what I'm saying is like.
Well, right. Is he going
I
to bail
wouldn't-
without us? Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't be able to do that because I wouldn't be. By the time I get back, the fair would be, the carnival would be closing for the night, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it's a fair bet actually.
Okay. Well,
24/7.
I don't think I might end up being able to do that one. I don't think we're going to be going all the way out there, but if we're going to stay here for an extra day after and nobody needs me for anything, I could probably find my way out there back and, start
Extra
early.
day after the
coming
festival.
Oh, well, sure enough, just let us know what your plan is. So you're like, hey, guys, I'm going to do this, so that we're like, okay, cool. We're going to do whatever we're going to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, so she says, well, all right, I'll buy it by the pound if you take the time.
How much is it worth?
She gets a look at her eyes and she says,
Oh, shit.
7
What you
gold?
got? Right? What you got? What you
seven-
got?
7 gold a pound?
Yeah.
Is that how much you normally buy it for?
I mean, usually when
Thereabouts.
it's here, right? Yeah, of course.
Golly.
Like
This
Like
feels
I-
like an insight roll.
I'm just saying.
Seems like it wouldn't even be worth the effort at that point. I'm sure there's things I could do around here that earn gold a lot faster.
luckily in this
disrespect
campaign,
to you and your need for this
Right.
material.
I'm not even there either, so it doesn't matter. But luckily, in this campaign, I can use my real life knowledge and.
Well, she says, fair enough. Whatever you wanna get the project started, you just bring on by your well, your war chest.
Yeah. Either that, or if it comes down to it, yeah, I'll be carting back a cartload
You're the
of
best.
crystal, I guess.
You're the
All
best.
right. Well, if you find a good one, one that really shifts in the light, I could maybe go up to 10.
How much is it like the rate that it gets harvested? Like, are people only bringing back about 5-10 pounds a week or so?
Yeah, thereabouts. I mean, at least that's generally what what folks like me might ask for.
I see.
What do you use?
Well,
Yep. Captain has wares if you have coin.
if I manage to find a real fancy cache, it might be worth me actually settling down and just getting in the business of hawking that stuff. We'll see about that. I'm probably gonna go get ready for the carnival.
Oh yeah, sounds like it's going to be pretty fun this year.
Are you gonna
Indeed.
I will be royalty.
No, you
Yeah,
and
she
I aren't
thinks
there
about it.
right now, right?
Right. Yeah, if she thinks
I
about
am
it, she
saying
says, I'll probably make it over. I mean, it's not every year they even show up, right?
Yeah. So, I suppose also a good way to get your mind off the smoldering crater and everything. Though I'd imagine you're pretty involved with the work here that you probably aren't even thinking about it much.
A good way to make some money too, if you're that sort of person. But I'm not there to say that.
Yeah, it's pretty tragic. That's it's not really my affair, though.
Is it gonna hurt business for you in some way?
Well, probably the opposite, if I'm being honest.
Right?
Oh really?
Right.
How so?
Didn't I say?
Well, new building brings new opportunity. Opportunity brings tall coin, as they say.
Well, I get that, but who are they gonna get the money from to rebuild? Are there like hidden coffers that they had somewhere else?
That's an interesting question, lad.
Just dropping that fucking. Seriously.
Just this morning, actually, I was having a conversation about that very topic.
So weird, eh? Y'all a part of a secret service sort of like, undercover operation psyop thing? Hmm? What?
She crosses her arms and she says, most people think the folks in the lake are probably just going to move in and rebuild the cathedral. I mean, after all, they basically what's the word? Inherit.
Interesting.
I'm
Well,
not there, but true.
I hope they're able to do a good job with that and brings commerce and such to the area. Huh. I wonder what the locals are even thinking. I couldn't imagine it makes them feel any safer.
Well, I guess that depends on how you look at it. I mean, clearly we're not ready to handle a demon lord. That's fair. But on the other hand, without the church, we don't really expect a demon lord. Know what I mean?
No, I mean.
I see. It reminds me of this
kinda funny.
story. These folks were introduced to a new faith whereby the rules are, you have to do all this orthodoxy or face eternal damnation. And anybody who doesn't know about the faith, well, they're just spared because they didn't know. And so the people that were just told about it said, well, why the heck did you tell us? Now we have to do this orthodoxy. We could have just been free of it this whole time. You kind of like that a little?
Kinda. The way I look at it, you know, when big earth-shaking things happen, fair enough, shaking things happen.
Hey.
You know, they kind of happen around the big places. You know, your temples, your tombs, your towers.
Domes, your towers, your temples.
Our big place was the cathedral. Now we don't got one. You know?
I see. So you feel like you're not a target on the map of villainous evil.
How are you never on that map?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not there to say it, but
Oh, well. Interesting thought. The,
in your mind, you see me saying this to you, and you're like, yes, this is what Omar would have said. This is what Omi would have said. Sorry, Jory. It's not Jory. It's actually your friend Chris from way back in the day.
I guess I kind of think of somebody making a lightning rod, but making it mostly out of wood. That it'll strike one. It'll get hit. It'll get struck. And it'll explode. But that's the only thing that got hit, where that lightning could have struck something else instead.
Right.
Oh, well. Sure hope that that holds up. Alright, well, I'm gonna go and prepare, like I said. Been a pleasure talking with you here, and I hope the whole situation turns out for the better here. If I come across any of that crystal, by the way, I'll definitely, you'll be the first to.
Yeah, good to hear it.
So with that, I'd probably just go back to the inn and short rest to get my sheets back.
Makes sense. Let me see if I can do that for you.
I don't think I actually clicked anything to expend my shade.
Right.
Because we were
Gonna
just
say.
doing a role play in it, so I don't think there's anything to restore.
All right, cool. Right on.
Looking at Jory, I don't have any expended shit.
All right, so you guys, it's getting close to dusk, or are you thinking it's carnival time?
Yeah,
Carnival.
cramming tavorfish stew and, doing all my pre-warm-ups and workouts and everything.
Oh shit, are we gonna do that? Are we gonna eat some food and shit so that's all like above board?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
Are you gonna come in hungry and eat the greasy fair food at the overprice?
I mean, yeah,
man.
duh. Remember this game is this is me in a fucking medieval, or sorry, not even medieval, in a fantasy body. Like, of course I'm here to go get some meat on a stick and some fucking elote and some fucking funnel
What's
cake.
funnel cake, exactly.
Right,
down with
bruh.
that. I'm down with that when it's time to be a tourist after I've performed. But when I come in, I gotta start whipping ass. Those ski balls have to go right to 1,000.
Yeah, but I hear you, but you know me, man. You know me.
Oh,
I'm
I
only a
know
rabbit
you.
because my fucking dungeon master told me I had to make a character I would never play in real life. Right? And here I am. So let's fucking rock this shit. I'm gonna eat some
totally.
junk
That's
food.
not the declaration. It was just play something cool that you've never played before.
This is cool. Are you telling me I'm not cool?
Am I not cool?
You
Yep,
have
he
done
doesn't
you
think
have
Jory's
done what it was requested. You have satisfied the condition. You're the only one complaining
Exactly.
about being a rabbit.
Uh,
You're the
bruh,
only
so
one
what-
complaining about
Hey.
being a rabbit.
What I need to do is find myself the fucking slam dunk a basketball fucking ring where you get tickets for slam dunk in the basketball, I'm gonna be up on that. I'm just gonna hop up fucking
That's-
9 meters,
that's
like 9
cheating.
feet up, 3 meters, kaboom, up. Get all the fucking tickets.
Let's
do this.
take 5 before we pull off the carnival. My AC broke, so I'm gonna go beat the shit out of it for a second.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Give it the old one, too.
Jay,
I'll be
you
back
don't
in a
need
sec.
it. It's literally snowing where you are.
Nah.
It is. It's snowing where he is.
It is.
Okay. As one fat kid to another
Yeah,
fat
but
kid.
my room is always hot because of all the computers in it.
Exactly.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I was just gonna say, I know it's snowing where you live. I have friends. I have other contacts. Thanks everyone for hanging out, watching us play some video games here on the Dope Crew channel. I'm Omboff. This is the Dope Crew hat. It says dope on it. I tipped it to you. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Please do the smashing of the buttons. Like, follow, and subscribe. We're cool people. We love you. You should love us also. Also, I could use the spare change. Spare change is nice, man. Just saying, it's cool. That's all you'll find from me doing the little what. Please do the button smashing thing. All right, I can't do it anymore. I tried. I really tried. Love you, mean it. Nothing, by the way. Nothing from my compatriots on my stream. Nothing. They said nothing.
They're all AFK.
Oh,
I
right.
was about to say, I just sat back down. What did I miss?
Oh, that's the perfect excuse. So good. So good.
I'm sorry, I needed Cajun snack mix.
Yummy. I like
That
it.
does sound good, yeah.
I was going to say, Cajun Snack Mix is way better than listening to me do the actual PBS thing where I'm like, please like, follow, and subscribe, etc., which is what I did.
Oh, I would, sir, but you need a stream
already-
more for me to do that.
You already did. Look, my last entry there is Watts resub X38. You've resubbed 38 times, man. You are my beer money. Thank you, Watts. Love you. Mean it.
Yeah, because I'm at level 3.
I just got a thing the other day where it's like, hey, you got some money from Twitch. I was like, holy shit! If I was the type to buy like a crate of beer, what do they call it? A case? Whatever? When they buy like the people like when you run if you have a fraternity and you buy a big box of beer, what's it called?
They
Kegs.
normally don't buy boxes, they buy kegs.
Oh, sure. No. I mean, okay, I've been to keg parties. I've been to lots of keg parties. But there's another thing you can buy, which is like a big box of like 24 beers, I think. That's a case. Am I right?
See, senor.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Like, yeah, I know what a keg is, sure enough. What is this, Bet Monty? Oh, thanks for the sub, Bet Monty. Soon I will be able to buy another case of beer. I don't actually spend my money from Twitch on beer. I don't. As much as I like good beer, I'm really not a beer guy. So, like, if I'm going to buy beer, I go across the street to this, like, little niche place. Niche. And they sell...
It's what you spend your patron funds on.
No, that's actually mostly tax money, except very soon I will be done paying off the Skyward Star tax burden. There was a leftover tax burden. And like the next time that I get the phone call, I'll be able to be like, I'll pay this off forever. And it will be paid off, and then Skyward Star will be dead. There will be no more Skyward Star ever. It'll be done and gone. And I will have paid off all their tax burden to Denver. I owe them a tax burden. I would rather that
Its
was
legacy remains.
Right,
Hewn
exactly.
into the living rock.
You need to burn the corpse so that it doesn't stink up the world. And I'm burning it, and soon I will be done.
You know what? I wanted to turn into a zombie.
No, we're gonna do a different thing. Don't worry. I'm gonna pay like the last $500 is what's gonna happen to the tax beast that is Denver, Colorado tax beast. They have a name. They're cool. They do taxes for Colorado. Colorado needs my tax money. Colorado needs your tax. Colorado needs all the fucking tax money it can fucking get. Frankly, Colorado's a bitchin' state, super rad, but dude,
I agree.
it's got some issues and it needs the tax money.
Yeah,
So
if you don't live, if you don't live in the urban corridor, you're definitely living in an entirely different economic region.
That's exactly correct. And that corridor lies along the one fucking freeway down the center, right? It's got two freeways. There are X. There's a little cluster at the middle, and then there's the line. And if you're not on the fucking north-south line, you're rural. And I'm not saying rural is bad. I'm saying
no, but it is an entirely different economic situation. Yeah.
Just a different experience also.
There's a line and there's a gap between the lines.
Exactly.
Also, like, I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm gonna venture a few steps into the weird zone and say, look, I understand that if you live in a place where you're raising livestock and shit comes in, and by shit I mean unregulated animals that nobody owns that come in and fuck with your livestock, that is your livelihood. You probably need to shoot those things. I have shot raccoons, poor baby I love raccoons, and here I admit that I have shot them with a 22. Well, it was actually it was a Dodge. It was a 22 level fucking air gun, but shish. Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't exactly a firearm. It was an air gun, but it shot 22s at supersonic speed. So, you know, I wouldn't want to get shot with that. A 22, 22 level, a 22 size slug
you could successfully hunt with that
at supersonic speed is going to fuck you right up as much as a 22 from a gun.
That is a weapon. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, so I used one to shoot a bunch of raccoons to get them out of my yard, so they stopped eating my chickens, bitches. Anyway,
were sonic nets ineffective, sir?
Oh, the fact that they were supersonic meant that they were like pow, like they went real fast. They do more damage.
No. I don't mean speed. I mean sound.
Oh yeah, they're loud. Like as soon as
No.
Oh.
I'm referring to a sonic barrier rather than you shooting something and it being boisterous.
Oh no, they go kapow. They're loud. Once you break the sound barrier, they're loud.
Never tried something like a sonic net.
Okay. I'm just completely missing what I'm saying. That's okay. But yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Carnival time.
Oh, it's time.
Did I need to roll anything for my question, sir?
I am.
Not yet, Watts.
Okay.
Do I need to answer something for you, Watts? Are we good?
No, I had whispered Snipe. I tried not to distract from other people's gameplay, so I had sent him a whisper.
No worries. I'm just doing soundtrack, so.
No, all good, man. Okay. All right. If you are all gathered and we are ready to visit the carnival,
indeed,
then you will make your way, east through town, out the city's main gate. You are, in fact, not the only folks on their way. The carnival looks like it's going to have a pretty decent crowd today.
Nice.
You exit out the main gate into the sort of like it's not exactly flat, it's a little hilly, but into the basic plain that's in front of the city wall. Out to where the fog wreathed carnival is. As the first stars of night twinkle above the sunset. You see some giant dragonflies whir overhead, trailing streamers there's a, at the entrance to the carnival, there's like a floral archway, and it sort of like acts as a gate in the fog that surrounds the carnival, and through its archway you can see, lights and folks, folks in line, and you see lots of folks flying around with fairy wings, and lots of like butterflies flitting around from place to place. The impression is like lush green fairgrounds decorated brightly with fairy lights.
Flowers.
Oh, pretty much everywhere. Not
That's funny. I have a one sound line on this, literally called Dragonfly.
Yeah, I could imagine. There's a dragonfly related attraction, as you'll see in a moment. But yeah, to answer your question in more detail, Verde, there are flowers kind of everywhere, but they're also not like explosively grown. They're almost a little understated.
Interesting. Any of them catch my eye?
Not really. I mean, there's daisies and posies, and they're all pretty common flowers.
Yeah. So if anything were to stand out, it would have.
Yeah. So, if you join the queue in line, eventually it will take you to the ticket booth. So, a silver statue of a dancing fairy is mounted on the roof of the ticket booth, which is surrounded by like fluttering butterflies and flowers. The booth itself is decorated with an animated depiction of the night sky with shooting stars arcing across it. There's an old-looking goblin perched behind the counter. And actually, you realize as you look up at the ticket booth, at this point, you're probably like 4 or 5 people away. But you realize he's looking right at you through a spyglass. When he realizes that you see him, he quickly puts the spyglass down and he says, "Greeting, fairgoers.
How fares thee this fair day?"
"Quite fair," he grins back at you.
That's the best.
I love it.
The best. I laugh.
It's been fairly fun.
We're all back together again, right? We're all here in the...
Indeed.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I laugh. Slap my fucking thigh, laugh.
The fairlings are real. I love it.
So as you finally get to your point, he says, "Well, you got to buy tickets if you want to go in."
Absolutely.
How much
What will the ticket let me do?
For the 4 of us for the whole week?
Oh, well, we only sell tickets per day. They're a commodity. Not everybody gets to come every day.
Right. Well, is there
but for you folks, it's 8 silver for adults, 3 silver for... He kind of looks down at you and he says, "Children?"
Oh
I'm a
my.
child.
Oh,
Well,
I'm not. I'm actually human size. I'm big.
He mostly was looking at Watts.
Yeah, okay.
I'm shorter than him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're both the shortkins. Okay.
I would
think someone of your stature, sir, would understand. I am not a child, just like you.
You had the beard, so I figured.
The beard.
I'm gonna ask him,
I'm too busy laughing.
You look dead in the eye, my dude.
I'm not even gonna roll against it.
Is there?
I'm just gonna laugh and laugh and laugh.
Is there any sort of restriction on a children's ticket? Not that I, wouldn't pay the 8 silver because I am definitely an adult. But what is the difference between the adult and children's?
Come to the watch light. Look at this.
Well, if you're of age, I think with humans it's like 16, right?
It's the Watchlight Carnival. Look at it there.
Yeah. Don't worry about me.
I'm a
Does it make
child
it where
at
we can't-
heart.
Does it mean we can't participate in the contest?
Contest are you talking about? There's a whole fair going on here. Look at the map they just stuck in our face.
Don't tell Jory about the contest. He'll try to fight it.
Okay.
I will be royalty. Tell me.
What?
the contest.
What?
Oh,
What?
you're looking for the crown, are you? Well,
Oh, what
Absolutely.
the fuck, man?
I slip him 8 silver.
What the fuck, man? What are
You
you
know,
even talking about?
In another land, in another fair, I actually helped this guy win the crown, but it was actually an illusion the entire time. And so after he
Well, that was
won
a
and
game.
got
That was a game.
crowned,
Look around. This is not a game. I look around and my ears go twitch, twitch.
anyway, funny story. All of us were there too.
Yeah, I was doing that for the actual cinematic, moment.
you're all from another land, he says,
Yeah.
with a kind
Another
of
land.
nudge, wink, lean across the counter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like you are, my friend. Wanderers
Another-
on the wonderful world of wandering.
Wow, man.
So I'll admit,
You already
folks
looked
do
at
it
us,
a lot
Derek.
more graceful than us.
Well, I mean, you gotta have style, right?
Hey,
Have
I wish I
style
could have
indeed,
traveled
my
like
friend.
you.
You do. You know, though, I gotta say, the style I've seen from the Coral Kingdom, magnificent. Ali, I love to have a dance hall made by them and their woodworkers.
Right? Yeah, that's one of the reasons we stop here on the circuit.
I mean, what?
I believe it. I got a question. What does it take to get some
What's
of those
their butt
fairy
taste
wings?
like?
Because some of the ones flying don't look like they themselves are fae folk.
Ah, nah, it's he reaches behind him and he picks up a set of obviously fake, fairy wings of the kind that you might strap on for a Halloween costume. And he says, "No, they come with the ticket. In fact, if you're not gonna wear them, you still gotta carry them because that's how we know you're on the up and up. You know what I'm saying?"
I got you.
Hey, it's your token. It's your site token.
It's sort of like I've been to a place like this. Last one though, we had to wear hats with like little clappy hands on them. I don't know why they had clappy hands, but they had clappy hands.
Sounds fun. Yeah, they come with the tickets.
Sounds fun.
And you get to keep them and take them home. We we don't ask for them back or anything.
Right.
I understand.
It's a collector's item.
Do they fly? Let me fly like y'all do? Or is there the bigger editions I can buy later for that?
That's probably only during the dance of the sugar plum
He,
flying in the air fairies.
he does a
Come on,
thing
what?
with his hand. It's like a flourish, he like twists his wrist around and kind of like opens his hand at the same time. And when he does, there's a small like explosion of glittery particles in the air that fall back to the ground. And he says, "For that you need pixie dust."
Faith
Well,
and trust.
I've heard that.
Faith
all
and
you
trust
need is
in
faith
pixie
and
dust.
trust.
That's what it's all about.
Okay, are we talking legitimate pixie dust here, or are we just talking showman magic? Legitimate question, because the last time I had to get pixie dust, no.
Oh, he says, "Oh no, it's the real deal."
Oh, the last
Wait,
time I had
is
pixie
this-
dust,
is
I
this
woke
a-
up in a fucking hospital on the side of the.
Is this the
City
sort of
Road.
pixie dust that comes in like the thin paper tubes?
Wow.
No, it's the
Sorting.
kind of pixie dust that's made by pixies.
If I
Oh,
had pixie
definitely
dust, is there
restoring.
a sort of
Sorry, we
arcane
come from
thing?
a place that pixie dust has a lot of meanings that are not quite on the up and up, if you will.
I don't know what you're talking about. I snort pixie
Paladin's
dust.
hand. Is there? What's the thing I
Hold
spill
on.
if there's too much pixie dust?
Hold on. Well, that's funny. It's like Norcan.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's a little,
Yeah.
what do I do? Is it Ninja can? What is it?
He produces from under the counter a classical ear horn. Sticks a small end in his ear, turns his head, and says, "What was that?"
I believe I was fairly clear. I said we come from a place where there's multiple forms of pixie dust and such, some of which are not I would say legal in most societies. I've never partaken of them. Just you know how it is. You read it in the paper, that sort of thing.
Fair music just fucking stops, silent.
He nods. He leans forward. Kind of like makes a come here gesture, like a conspiratorial. Hey, come here.
I scoot closer because I can read the room.
The mouth
Right.
doesn't abide in drug spots.
Right.
He says, tell me something about yourself, kid. But you were to take that hat off. How would people feel?
This is a reminder.
I feel like my life would flash before my eyes.
Right. As you say that, he leans back, reaches under the counter, and he pulls out a small box, like redwood, hinged top. Not particularly well made, but also not poorly made. But basically like the kind of like wooden box you might keep small jewelry in, or like like maybe a birth certificate or something if you were like weird,
Important scroll case is an important scroll case.
Yeah, I mean honestly it's like a jewelry box or a medicine box made of wood, But he opens it and he says, I've been looking for you guys actually. It's a lucky day. Apparently somebody sent you some tickets.
What?
Oh, well, fantastic. I appreciate it.
Really?
Whoever that is.
He pulls 4 tickets out of the box and he puts them on the counter in front of him.
Oh,
He
4.
says,
Enough for all of us? What the fuck? Who's been watching us?
I have a question. Could you let me know who I need to send the thank you note to? Because you know how it is. You got to keep it on the up and up, and you got to be thankful to folks. I don't want to get crossfires with some people,
Oh, no, they were pretty specific that I should keep it anonymous.
Okay. Well, do you think you're going to run into them again?
Don't know.
Well, if you do, could you do me a solid and tell them thank you for me?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I could do that for you.
That's real good. Straight up you, man, because
Good. That's
you
real
know what I mean.
good.
You gotta say,
Real
you gotta
good
keep
what
clean
you
with
did there.
people.
It's real
Right?
good.
I
God.
Always pays to be respectable.
Exactly. You gotta do good business.
I continue to push
you guys. Oh.
I continue to push the 8 silver towards him, and I'm like, but really, I'm gonna be royalty.
Cool.
Sure you will, my friend.
Anyone who has a ticket has a shot at the crown.
Right?
Now, so with
That's how
the
we're going to do
ticket,
this. I'm going to do it myself, too. I'm going to rock in there, because of course I am.
How does that work?
Right, Faraday? You're going to do it, too, aren't you?
What?
The contest for the crown's pretty simple. If you'll look at your tickets, you'll see that there are some places to notch some holes there, right?
I love how we snapped into a absolutely specific fucking anime moment.
yeah, I see that it got
Yeah,
frequent
I got
shopper
the
customer
holes. There's
thingy.
knots and holes. I get it. Knots and holes.
Right. Well, there are various attractions in the carnival. Attend each one, get a notch in your ticket.
Right.
Get 8 notches. Maybe you'll be king or queen.
Right.
Question: Is there a notch and then there's a notch? Like, is there like a notch plush type thing? Like we went above and beyond, or is it just like pass or fail?
Interesting question.
No, I mean we don't sell like season passes or nothing.
No. What I'm talking about, like, say, I go in to the pie eating contest, and I don't just eat the most number of pies. I eat the most number of pies.
Is there a pie eating conquest? I don't even know.
Gotcha. Yeah, we don't exactly have that kind of thing going on here, but there are a few competitive moments, and those are generally rewarded there on site.
I got
What you're saying, is there a win, lose, or is there a draw? Is there some in between? Is there some second place, third
I was
place?
just wondering, like, possible
What
reward,
if
you
your
know.
first loser?
I'm just trying to get a feel for it, like trying to understand. Like, I'm a collector of sorts, and I see the fair as a place of wonder and mystery and merriment that might have things that could aid me. And well, I want to have fun and help you guys do what you need to do, because I feel like this place is magical, and you're collecting the joy of the people, and it's wonderful.
Indeed.
Well, that's definitely the point. But yeah, if there are secrets in the carnival, it certainly wouldn't be my place to reveal them here at the ticket booth. You know?
Oh, you're not wrong.
This is where it all starts.
It's too early to pull back the curtain and see the guy behind.
This is where it all starts. Pour your drinks, for in 5 minutes it will be time.
I just got an error for a PNG.
Oh yeah, same here. It's finally fine.
Okay.
Got an error. Oh, well. Look at that.
Problem with the carnival map? Like, when
I got the carnival map, but I did
added your tokens to the map, so.
Right.
Yeah, object reference not set to an instance of an object. Blah 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 blah. Oh.
Gonna be all quiet for a minute. Here, let's have some mountain wind.
Okay.
Crows and ravens.
Well, my friends, you've been such a great help today. I got a question. If you were me, where would you start your wonderment this evening?
Magic mirror,
At the Calliope, it's right next to it. We gotta see what the fruit and the bananas is about.
You're a fruit.
It's a banana, not a fruit.
It's a banana, not a fruit. That's amazing.
But
I mean, there's the Calliope.
Actually, isn't berries? Bananas technically a berry.
I think it is a berry.
I'm gonna.
I think you're right.
What are the rules of the event here? Just out of curiosity.
You must be a berry and not a fruit. That's rule number one. Rule number two is you must be a subscriber at the.
There are these notches on your ticket.
I know,
right?
Yeah.
Right. Does each notch have a picture that's or the corresponding thing?
No. I'm sorry. I mean more.
No,
like
there's no picture. You just get a notch when you fuck the person from your particular
terms of access and stuff. Like for example, if someone tries to mug somebody else or get after them after an event where they got embarrassed,
each notch is a good.
Is that
humping.
person supposed to like try to run and get away or just take their beating or whatever, or can that person defend themselves?
Of course they can defend themselves.
Oh, you won't find that kind of atmosphere here. But if there were some kind of altercation, it would certainly be handled quickly by the staff. You wouldn't have to defend yourself. I mean, you would certainly be encouraged to do so if it came to that, but you won't find that happening here.
Okay. And what's the policy on pets and animals?
Everybody's welcome.
Wow, listen to that. It's like you're the La Quinta of the fantasy realm.
What's what's the ticket cost for a squirrel then? Not saying that I'm bringing a squirrel in or inviting.
But if I had a squirrel in my pants,
if it's an adult, it's 8 silver.
If it's a child, it's 3.
I don't mean like I'm sorry. I don't mean like a squirrel folk. I mean like a squirrel. I mean like
Yeah, but squirrel folk is that's a whole bed. That's a whole other person.
Just bring your pets. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Also, if you're storing a squirrel folk in your pants, that's dirty. That's just dirty.
I would suggest though that you don't bring them into the big top. It can be a little chaotic in there.
Ooh. Big Top sounds like fun.
Do you have animal shows?
Wow. That's what they call them, animal shows, I guess.
Oh, well, we do have some pretty amazing shows, yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome is a good word for what that is.
Well, having beast tamers are always impressive. More so when they're
beast tamers, yeah.
Well, it's a
What
lot
else?
easier when you can just talk. But what do I know?
If you
You're
can
not wrong,
talk
my friend.
to the animals.
But I was thinking of like the beast specialized rangers I've seen. They can
Oh,
do
the fucking
fantastic
animals.
things.
They can do fantastic things with their animals.
Dude, I once heard about this wizard who trained his owl familiar to do strafing runs with dragon's breath.
You guys.
Almost time.
It is time, in fact. It's time.
My clock says it's not quite time.
Yeah, your clock is wrong.
I mean, it's Microsoft's clock, so probably.
Anyway, right now, we like to tell people that if they're watching this show, they should hearken unto a particular place in the internet. And I thought I had written the thing to expose that, but maybe I had. I'm gonna fuck this all up because I'm just gonna ruin it right now. Ruin, because what it is actually is funk. It's not that. That's wrong. It's this. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. I can play it. I think I did that right. If you hit that button right there, it should take you to the place. And if it takes you, oh, look, it did. I'm right. Anyway, this is a celebration of those that have gone to that place and that have given money on the regs, because that goes into an account that pays for lots of things, including, as we mentioned earlier.
This is for my friends over on the DOP crew, by the way.
Okay, the man.
Otherwise, we make art, and those that go to that place and kick in on the regs help me and also Snipe Hunter to do cool things. And thank you. And this is a shot right here to thank you. This is like symbolic. It's a symbolic thanks is what we actually do.
From the
We do
bottom
it every
of our
month.
hearts.
Every
Cheers.
month? Fuck, dude.
Be
We do it
chuffed.
every week. Be chuffed.
Chuffed.
You're a patron of the
Chuffed.
art. Be chuffed. Be chuffed. Be chuffed. Be chuffed. Be whatever you need to be.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Keep up the good work.
Night.
Glory and good health.
Did you hear how my audio just helped me out there? It just was kismet. That was kismet. You know that word kismet? That's what it was.
That's that
Love you.
scripting language from Unreal, right?
No. I mean, yes, but no. I meant in the philosophical. I meant in the philosophical or the fantasy, like we're all hippies way. Is it hippies anymore? They're not hippies anymore. What do you call them? Like when they're like, what do you call them? They're not lefties. They're not righties. They're just this sort of thing where they're like
intellectuals.
Yeah, I guess you're right. They're intellectuals, but
No,
they're also
I'm sorry, I said anti-intellectuals.
No. I'm talking about the people that are like fairies or like SCA folks or like all this. Like they're somewhere in this weird in between.
I mean, they're anachronists.
Absolutely, anachronist is a good word, which is what the A in SCA means. But also, all the fairies also fall into this thing I'm talking about. It's not a bad thing. It's an awesome thing. We love it. But how do you fall into that space? Anyway, love you, mean it, everyone. Thank you for being patrons. Thank you for being patrons of the arts and all that. That's what we're doing right now. Saying thanks. All that. All right. What's next?
I was actually looking at the clock. I know some people were not wanting to run as late tonight. This seems like a decent stopping spot if people are so inclined.
Oh yeah, sure.
Well, and that's actually been if we start at 9:30 p.m. Pacific, midnight Pacific has been the traditional sort of
90-minute length.
Right.
I'm just trying
I'm kind of losing my voice here, so I don't.
It's actually more than we've done more than 90 minutes. We're doing 2 hours 30 right now.
Yeah.
That's good for us.
It is. So, like, yeah, if we want to chill right as we enter the Witchlight Carnival, and tomorrow in game, but next time we play is entering the Big Top,
or wherever we just decide to wander.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. Sounds good to me.
That's fine. You finally got here. What, 3 sessions later?
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Hey, you guys! You know I bought a soundscape for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard about that.
You heard about that?
You even heard it.
Exactly. I'm just saying. You know, we could use it.